All right. This man needs no introduction. We have Oliver Stark from the smash hit 911. Dude, thank you so much for joining us on the first ever Fox TV Fan Hub. How are you doing, man? Are you excited?
Yeah, I'm excited, and any way that we can connect and give back, I think is it's always our pleasure to do so. So I'm really happy to be here.
Amazing, man. I'm very happy that we get to do this together again. Question number 1 from Abby. What similarities do you share with your character, Evan Buckley? And what is the biggest thing that you've taken from working on 911 / your character? Good question.
I think one of the main things that I've come to learn over the years that me and Buck have in common is I think we both very much wear our hearts on our sleeves. Sometimes to our own detriment because it's not always an appropriate thing to do. But yeah, I think we're both very open with how we feel and find it hard, even if, as I say, the situation requires it to hide that. And then I think one of the things that I've taken from him, kind of piggybacking on that first answer, is that that's okay, and that you don't have to hide that, and you don't have to try and dull that down. And it's actually quite a lovely thing to express, to be able to express how you feel. So that's really one of the main things that I have taken from playing Buck.
Amen to that. Question number 2 comes from Bree. What's your favorite character trait of Buck, and what inspires you most about him? Another great question.
I think probably, I guess one of the favorite. There's a lot. There's a lot that I like playing about him. I think favorite at the moment, because I think is pretty frequently. But I think it's something to do with like his tunnel vision when it comes to saving people. It doesn't matter if he's going to throw himself into harm's way. It doesn't matter what the obstacle is. When there is a goal, and when that goal is to save a victim, like he is all in, and the blinders go on, and he runs towards the danger. And I think at the same time that's one of the most inspiring things about him, just that kind of selflessness that we've seen throughout the seasons, and how he's kind of been able to channel that in more and more of a productive way as time has gone on.
Yeah, absolutely. Next question comes from Pamela. Do you do your own stunts? We all want to know.
Yeah, I mean, as much as possible. Obviously, there are some things, whether it be for safety reasons or just practicality reasons, that we can't do. But I always love getting to do whatever we are allowed to do. It's for me, one of the biggest perks of the job is that you kind of get thrown into these crazy scenarios that feel very dangerous for me, but like we have such great stunt people working with us that actually they're not dangerous at all. So I kind of get to have the best of both worlds, where I feel like I'm being really cool and saving the day, but actually I'm very safe and in no real danger. So it's an aspect that we do get to do, I would say, like the majority of, and I say long may that continue.
Yeah, totally, dude. Next question is from TK. Have you ever seen a story in the news and thought, this would make a great episode of 911?
From TK? Isn't that a character? Yeah, I mean, all the time. And as I'm sure, obviously, because I'm sure it's the same on your show, that the majority of calls are ripped from headlines, or at least based upon. So that there's things all the time that I think would make good storylines, and I might end up sending them to Tim and being like, hey, what about this? Turns out I'm not as good at deciding what would be what would make a good story in the show. So I'm thankful that I am on my side of it, because that is certainly not where any talent lies for me.
Yeah, I do the same thing. Next question comes from Megan. What kind of training did y'all have to do to prepare for your role as firefighters / EMS workers? Good question.
Yeah, on our show, we didn't actually have like a formal training camp, which I think you guys did, right? You
Yeah.
that there was like, oh, you at least went to a firehouse or something. We did that.
Yeah,
Myself
briefly.
and Kenny did that season 1, but it wasn't necessarily organized for us. We just happened to know firefighters. So we went and we hung out for the day, and we went on a few calls, but there wasn't any like specific firefighter training. You know, obviously we have like a ex-firefighter on set with us anytime we're on a call, and he kind of makes sure that we're doing everything correctly. But then also there's a side of it that is just, you know, being fit, and looking like we might be able to do the job. I think that is a huge part of it. I know for myself, and I think for our whole cast, because we kind of want to honor and pay tribute to the real firefighting in the correct way, and part of that is looking the part.
Yep. Here's a great question. This is from Carly. How do you make it through long night shoots? Oh boy.
Good company and not so good, but it does the job, coffee. Although I don't like to drink coffee too late into a night shoot, because then I find that, you know, say I get home at 7 a.m. and I've just had coffee, then I can't sleep, and then I'm messed up even more. So I try and cap my caffeine maybe like 5-6 hours before the end of a night shoot, but I hit it pretty hard when the night starts. And then, yeah, as I say, we all get on here, and it's more often than not the thing I think that keeps us all sane at times like those is just, you know, we're essentially with a bunch of friends, and we know we're lucky to get to do what we do. So even when it is feeling difficult, hey, we're still honored and happy to be here. But sometimes it's very tiring, as you know.
Yeah, but that's a very good point. Very, very lucky. Absolutely. Last question, dude, from Justin. If you could go back and give your character from season 1 any advice, what would it be? These questions are always amazing, man.
I think he needed a lot of advice. I guess to summarize it all into one would be just listen. Like you don't know everything yet. You may have found a thing within your job that you're good at, and you're certainly helping people, but one step at a time. You still have a lot to learn there. And, you know, same for Buck in season 5. There's, of course, still stuff to learn, but yeah, no, season 1, he was definitely a little bit further behind on that journey.
Well, Oliver, that was amazing. Is there anything you'd like to tell people about season 5 before we wrap this up? Anything at all?
Just that, you know, a season we get bigger and bigger, and that is not any different head into season 5. It's crazier, I think, than ever. So I'm excited that we're here making it, excited that everybody's going to be watching it, and I hope they enjoy.
Amazing. Oliver, again, we can't thank you enough. Please don't forget, season 5 of 911 premieres on Monday, September 20th at 8 p.m. Oliver, thank you, dude, so much. I will see you soon.
Yeah. All right. Thank you. Bye, everybody.